Welcome, everyone. We're back. It is that time. It's GG. It is the millions today. It's episode 20, season 2023. We got a big one. And Nikita Luther joins us. Nikita, how are you?
I'm good, Jeff. Thanks for having me here.
Yes, got to see you in Las Vegas. Was very exciting. We both went deep in the main. You went much deeper. I think you finished 96th. Your top 100, is that right?
Yeah, 96. I did see you around. You were deep as well, somewhere in the 200s.
Yeah. I did 260, but it's exciting, right? There's nothing quite like the main event to go that deep. It's very exciting. We'll talk about that a little later. But today, of course, big names, big prizes. It is the GG Millions. It's $10,000 buy-in. We are at a final table as played from Sunday, and there's a look at the GG Million ranking for the year thus far. Raw still holding it down, 1.584 in earnings. He is currently leading that. There will be prizes at the end of this 2023 season. And again, nice, healthy prize pool anytime 7 figures is up for grabs. That is important, and this is just that, 1.2 in the prize pool. As you can see, a look at the first place, over $250,000 US, with 9th getting 36,000. This is again valuable points and a nice payday coming for someone. At least everyone here going to be guaranteed some good money. 9 and 121 remain. As always, on Tuesday at 2:45 Eastern, we do play out the final table. And here it is, a big stack for Picasso 98. Has 136 big blinds. Short stack on 10 big blinds. Anyone here you've battled with or look familiar at this particular group? Or
Me? No, I haven't. Surprisingly, all new names, even though I follow the Super Millions pretty often. This specific lineup is pretty new to me.
Okay. Yeah, I know Jan Zarens. He's a big name. Plays live, plays online. Some of the biggest stuff. We have a lot of usernames. Smile the Hero, also very accomplished. And I believe we only have one winner prior in the GG Millions. I have to take a look at my notes. I'll have to tell you who it is. I know there was only one, so we likely will have a new GG Million champion today, but of course anything can happen. And there it is, Smile the Hero, using some of those gifts right away. Got Rocky coming out on the button there with the 1.1 million stack. And how about a dinner wager? Are you up for that? Can we do a little red or black and then pick some players?
Depends how good you're running these.
I'm pretty good. I'm talking a big dinner. We're saying you either fly to Brazil, I'll fly to India. I think you're in maybe Goa. We can do a full works dinner. So I'm ready to gamble. You let me know. Whatever you want. We can do it. I
gotta win this then. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. You red or black? What do you want? I'll let you choose the flop.
I go red.
Red. Okay. We may just get to see a flop, right? Juan Pardo Dominguez, another household name. It's another very good play. And look at this. This is something the talented ones, they're not afraid. They mix it up. They realize flatting is not quite a profitable proposition oftentimes, and he's going to put up some big pressure. And Tony, though, King Jack suited, definitely a hand you could get aggressive with. You could flat, you could 4-bet all in, you could do various things, but who wants to get it all in on the first hand of the stream with King High? So let's see. Tough spot.
I was going to say, these guys are already ready to go first hand, and it's all action.
Yeah, it's I'm going to find real quick. Let's see who won. It was Matthew Stump, I believe, has won on the GG Millions. That was season 2. So he is, as I can note, the only GG Million champion. A lot of final tables mixed in there amongst the players, but he is the one that is got the hardware so far. So we still no flop. We are going to have the hands up for the audience at home. The jackpot, of course, progressive. You can guess the winning hand that will be shown. Let me see if it's up on YouTube. Chat, there it is on cue. Hands up is pinned. You guys can guess the winning hand. How about that? Let's start with that. What do you think will be the winning hand today, Nikita? Tell me what you have to get the exact suits. Could be like the Ace of Diamonds, 3 of Hearts, pocket 4s. You got to call the suits though. Give me your winning hand today.
Do I have to buy you dinner if I'm wrong?
No, that's a hard one to get. This is hard.
Okay, I go with King of Spades and Nine of Clubs.
King of Spades, nine of clubs. All right, I'm going to go Ace of Heart, three of diamond. That's my guess. If you guys want to officially enter, you got to click the link, enter your guess there. And we have a flop. It is red. So that means that's you. You said red?
I did, yes.
Did. All right. So you'll get the first pick today.
Awesome. Should I pick already?
Yeah, go in. We see 9-7 high versus ace 5. Looks like this may just get checked down on the river. Ace high, a lot of showdown, and he does get that done. So a nice first pot there for Tony. And yes, pick. Go ahead. Let's get these picks in order.
Didn't take a spot there. The board favored the big blind range a lot. So with the chip lead, he could have represented something. Anyway, so my pick, I did some, I looked at the numbers, and I think Juan is one of the most accomplished players. And since he started with a very aggressive stance already, I think I'll go with Juan for now. I know I'm being fishy by not picking Picasso already, but I feel like gambling here.
Well, I respect it because I was going to take him with one of my double pick here. So yeah, you're going to get him. I will take the chip leader Picasso. So I got Picasso and Jan's Aaron. So those will be my two picks, and now you get to pick, and we'll alternate through.
All right, I will go with. So probably go with the stacks now, Tony Lynn.
Tony Lynn, okay. I'm going to go with Smile the Hero, a very talented player who I used to battle with a lot. We used to have some choice words for each other. One of the few sort of, I don't want to say enemy, but someone I would just get into it a lot with. But I like his game. He's tough. So I'm going to go Smile the Hero.
Nice. I go with Matthew since he's already won this and he knows how to get it done.
Very good pick. And I will go with, all right, we're running out of names here. I'll go with I believe that's that Costa Rica, the M at, I don't know how to pronounce that. What's that? That name is, let me see if I can get a closer look there. Yeah, I'll take that as, I think it's Costa Rica, no? Am I right? The M at, I think it might be, but I'm not sure on that. I'll take that, and then we'll have we'll have one more pick for you, and then we'll go to, I guess we'll just give a bonus. You can have the last one too, because I feel like I got the best deal. So I assume you want why, right?
I can have the last two. I mean, there's just two guys left, isn't it?
Yes, you can have them. So you get YYY in Shanghai. We'll give you that. So it's gonna be, I'm just gonna make it simple for the audience. We're gonna give a $50 GG ticket, poker, at the end of the stream, or $100. If one of my players win, you will get 100. That'll be a tournament ticket. If Nikita's players win, you'll get 50. I like to have the audience on my side. We're going to bring them all on my side. That's who you're rooting for. It's either 50 or 100. 100 if my players win, 50 if Nikita's wins. And then we're going to dive now into the action, as we've already seen. As you said, off to a fast start. The ace-4 off doesn't have to take that 3-bet spot. Went big, went aggressive. And Juan Pardo Dominguez, no stranger to the bright lights, is already making progress here today. So we got our dinner bet. The audience has their $50 or $100 bet. We have the hands up giveaway jackpot opportunity. And then we also have my Twitter pinned tweet, which is going to be a $50 giveaway in cash for you guys as well. So good luck to those giveaways. And Nikita, here we go. Jack, queen, ace, queen, ace, queen. This hand gives so much problems all the time. Here it is. Outflopped again. Great hand. And now a very, very dangerous card. Wow. Your guy, Juan Pardo. This could be a huge pot for him.
I had a good feeling. Nice. Yeah.
Very good spot. Although diamonds are there, might not necessarily get all of it, right? There's only 184 in the pot, but he does go ahead and bet. And now Tony, of course, has got to feel comfortable,
Tony,
right?
who is also my guy.
Yeah, it's true. You're going to have some chips sliding around here one way or the other. So Tony thinking about to call or raise. And, ooh, actually a card that could just slow everything down is now top two pair has to be worried about a diamond. Does check back, and not a huge pot, but Juan Pardo Dominguez up to almost 5 million there. So good start for Juan.
I have to say I'm surprised Juan opened Queen Jack off with a chip leader on his immediate left, and as a middling stack with all the short stacks. I would say it's quite interesting that he made that open.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's close. It's definitely close. I think he's looking at, there is a shove stack or two behind. So that also is a little bit less attractive to open, right? Because you're going to get jammed on more frequently. But he picks it up, finds a way, and he was dominated and did have position and took it down. And here we go again, a chip lead, not that ridiculous, right? Ace-8 suited, good hand at 3-bet. He's got pressure on a middling stack. So pretty straightforward there. Picasso picks up a nice pot. Let me ask you, Nikita, how was that main event run though? What was that your deepest run? I mean, 96 is really deep. What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely my deepest run considering I'm not even cashed this event before. I played it 5 times before. It was something else. It was one of those tournaments where the rest of the world just stops existing for the 7 or 8 days that you're in it. And it was very, very nerve-wracking, and it really tested me. In fact, I feel a marathon like this is a battle against yourself. And for me, I did feel the pressure a lot, even though I've been playing live poker for so long. This is probably the first time that I felt all that pressure. They put me on the feature table 2 days in a row, and I think I gave it all. I gave it my all. I left everything out there on the table. I played one very, very huge hand that everybody's asking me about. I will probably do a video on it later and explain my thought process. I'm not saying I'm right, but just a point where I was up to 10 million, and I was like third or fourth in chips in the entire tournament on day 6, and I basically lost half my stack in that one hand. So yeah, it was actually a combination of all the pressure and the exhaustion, the pure mental and physical exhaustion that I got. But yeah, it's an experience like nothing else though. I do it all over again, and I'm very fortunate to have made the run.
Very, very cool. It's definitely, listen, winning the main is special, final table, but at some point you start checking off the box of special, and final 100 is definitely a milestone. I think I've had 200 place roughly finishes, and that was it felt deep, but that is it's nice to have that taste, right? It gives you confidence. You come back, it's possible, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you at many more main events to come. So very, very cool. Congrats on that finish, and yeah, exciting stuff as we see Picasso does open their deuces. Yeah, he's been active as we expect. I mean, he's got a big lead, right? Look at the second place. No one has over 2 million, and he's got 4.4. So really good spot he is in at this final table right now as we see our friend here. My pick at aces, and Jan Aaron's with 8s has got a tough spot whether to. Wow, look at that discipline. I mean, that's strong. That is dialed in. That's also a function of the stack. Probably understands the player, just realizes I think the implied odds not quite there, right? If the player had 1 million plus, 1.2 plus, a little more attractive to go set mining or even put pressure on, but just decided awkward stack and got out of the way. So pretty interesting. That's one to note at home. I definitely.
One of the things to factor in is that he's opening the big blind of the chip leader, and it's very, very strong because the chip leader is going to defend very wide, and so I think 8s is actually like it. If you look at it in hindsight, of course we can see all the cards, but the short stacks opening the chip leader's big blind is usually very strong.
Yep, that is definitely a good consideration. A lot going on. That's a nice thing about poker and tournaments, right? There's a lot to consider. Every spot is not the same. Who's blind you're opening on, who's on the button. There's a lot of things to consider. It's kind of like air traffic control. You got to be aware, alert to a lot of little details, very important, that all can matter in the glimpse here as we see a very clear spot here. 3s just to rip in, put pressure. I mean, both these guys are short. Doesn't want to open and get jammed on. He does take the spot. Picasso up and running up to over 4.7 million. So it is a big spot. So nice start there for Picasso as we see a chip up and no one really in double. Like we are almost 3x second place, which is very rare in this format, right? To have that.
It'll be very interesting to see how he plays this lead. Some people are usually just opening any 2 cards. And let's see, it's basically dependent, very player dependent, but I think Picasso seems like he's an experienced player and he should be able to really run this table over. Now I suddenly am regretting my choice.
Well, yeah, you made, you were smart though. You did know I was going to pick Juan there in my second, third pick. So you took a
Yeah,
chance. We'll see.
yeah, I wanted to grab him before he was gone.
Smart, smart. I like your strategy. Let's see how it works out. Still a lot of poker left. Of course, anything can happen, but a big lead currently. And there is Juan again with a good spot, at least at the moment, and a lead out though. This is not necessarily an easy situation, right? You are realizing you're up against jacks, queens, kings, aces sometimes. So I'm going to start with a call here, and 8-9 suited, a nice defend hand decides that's enough there, gets out of the way, and welcoming sight. What do you like here now? Getting checked too. You got tens. You have control of the hand. You have these hands, right? You could have fours and flat. You could have set of fives or sixes, possibly. Although it's an early under the gun raise, I think you feel comfortable and interesting bet size, Nikita. Do you like that?
Yeah, he's basically buying himself a check on the river, a very cheap check. So definitely a good size.
Yeah, it's interesting. And now a bluff, a quick bet from our friend here, I'm having a little bit of hard time I don't know how you would pronounce that, but a interesting bet. And this, honestly, the price is so right, but Juan can't love this card and the fact that his opponent is betting this all of a sudden. I mean, it definitely looks like, possibly ace king, but I don't know. The price is pretty reasonable for the pot.
Very quick on that.
Quick bet.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Very, very tough spot. Oh, he's disconnected.
Oh, wow. A little drama as well. See, I mean, honestly, I was going to say I don't see how he folds, but like it does look strong. It was a quick bet. The player called the turn and now fires big. And I mean, he's just thinking, wow, it just feels like I'm beat so often. Although he's calling 163 to win a lot. And there it is to win 800. Wow. And he does get it. Good call. 2 million. Bravo. Nice hand. Juan is on his way. 2 million, looking very nice. Although his tough seat, right? 1.8 million is on the direct right of the chip leader, so that works against him as well. But so far, so good. And here he goes, Queen 8 suited going to work, opening up a pretty wide range.
Again, I'm pretty surprised he's opening Queen 8 suited here with the chip leader right behind him. I am not sure if that is something that should be done. Who is that?
Listen, I'm not going to question the man. The man knows he knows what he's doing. But yes, it does seem a little wide. But I think he sort of realizes too the stacks, right? The ICM is so heavy, the heaviest portion of the tournament between like 8th and 12th. We're 9-handed. There's some short stacks. People aren't going to go out of their way. I think he just thinks he's going to get not a lot of resistance. And the chip leader's on his direct left, also with the players behind, right? It's not like there's the position there. It's a little less attractive for Picasso to just go after him in that spot because people can wake up with hands. So yeah, I think he's just kind of going to see if he can get away with some light opens at the moment. And
definitely, he was my pick because he's one of the most accomplished players on the table. Of course,
yeah.
They're just learning. I'm learning here.
So, for sure. Well, yeah.
Wait, is that 4-5 off?
That is 4-5 offsuit. I was waiting for someone in the audience to jump out of their chair. That is correct. That is a light open. Don't try this at home. And this is actually, we're playing a hands up with the we don't get to see a mini game where we aren't seeing the big blind. So this is actually very interesting. Now we're getting to see a call, and here we go. 5 high. You open a hand that's definitely super unconventional, and now on the river, if check to.
Are you serious?
What are we going to see here?
I'm loving this final table. It's full action. There's 4-5 off opening the cutoff as a middling stack. Oh my God, look at that.
Well, I'll tell you this. We don't have to get to see. That might be 8-9. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. I was wondering like for a bluff. And I mean, he was bluffing with the best hand, but if he had checked, he would have it would not have worked. So that was pretty interesting hand all around. Nice bluff and a interesting open from Tony, who I'm sure we're going to see some fireworks today. at this final table. Already we're seeing some pretty aggressive plays. King 3 suited, limps in. Jan Arns, definitely a hand he can open here, re-raise the action. This is one of those ones, one of the worst hands and the best you want to do, and check back some middling. But you know what? I think he respects Smile the Hero. He knows, and their stacks are very vulnerable. And we are going to just see a check back with the 3-7 offsuit. So now King 3 suited gets a backdoor flush draw, backdoor wheel draw, and King High is the best hand at the moment. See if Jans decides to take a stab or if he's just kind of ready to likely give up here as he just checks. Expect Smile to... I thought he maybe might bet, but again, King High, I think he just thinks he's good too, right? He's got good showdown value, so he checks it over.
I'm sorry, this was a limpa?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a limpa.
Yeah, so both players not really putting any pressure here. I mean, King 3 does have King High. The board's not super attractive for it, but although it still does beat a lot of random hands, including 3-7 off. And now does Jans decide to take a little stab at it? Maybe try to get like, yeah, Jack High to fold or something. I don't know. The sizing 50%, roughly 50% pot, I think, almost. See if Smile decides to call or not. Nice, interesting, laid back pot. No real aggression shown here until the river. A little stab. What do you think, Nikita? Does he find a call? No, does not. All right, well done, Jans.
The river there makes it very tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's targeting really exactly that, right? He's targeting a King High. He realizes he doesn't going to win it at showdown, so just decides to take a stab, try to get some hands to fold. And King High is going to be one of the close spots, and he does get the fold. Nicely done. As we see a real hand from Matt, the only GGMillion champion, is going to get some action from your friend here, Juan Pardo Dominguez, almost certainly in the big blind. Jan's also thinking with King 4 suited. Wow. Juan's running good. Juan's running good there.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah. And Matthew is again
rip it in.
Yeah, offsuit ace king. I think just rip, not induced, but it's close and a nice pickup for him there. Juan probably would have just called, and they would have played a flop. So. Little butterfly effect, right? Slight difference. King 4 suited, certainly not a mandatory 3-bet. Definitely on the aggressive side, takes it. Juan Pardo gets out of the way. Doesn't put any more money in with Ace Jack, which was dominated there. And Matthew does pick up a decent pickup with not having to go to showdown. Ace King.
Matthew has a very jam of fold stack. He doesn't have a lot of calls. So with a king in his hand, King 4, he's blocking Ace King and Pocket Kings, and he took a stab, given his stack side, trying to leverage it. I think I'm having some mic trouble. Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Doesn't sound funny to me. Guys at home, if you let us know, how is it? How is the chat? Can you hear Nikita? Welcome in, everyone. Let us know where you're watching from in the world. Nikita joins us from India. I am in Brazil. And we would love to know where you're watching from. Hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying. We will have a giveaway of $50 or $100 at the end of the show. The blinds and antes are up as we move to the next stage. And you can see that information there. Upper left tells you what level we're on in 20 hands. The next blind goes up, shows you what the next payout is. And the lower left, we can see also the payouts for today. So again, a lot of action. We're still 9-handed. Saw some aggressive play. And players willing to go for it as a King Queen of Hearts opens under the gun. Wow. This guy can do it, huh? King 9 suited, attacking and under the gun open. I think, playing off of that shortest stack, right? kind of realizing too, like do you really want to put it in? There's like a pay jump imminent. Do you really want to like battle right now with that? But still under the gun, that's definitely, that's making a move, right? That's an aggressive play.
Everyone seems super aggressive. The chips are just flying around. Everyone except Picasso. Picasso hasn't done anything out of line, and he's the only one who's actually playing legitimate cards so far with all the chips.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very true. As we see ace jack fives and 8-9 suited, no one makes a pair other than Y with the pair in the hand, but that's going to be a hard board to win. Don't really see how that is going to happen. And Picasso with a gut shot and the nut diamond definitely is liking this flop and is going to take action and just have kind of a field day against these two hands. Should just pick this up. Eight, nine suited. Tony, though, Tony with the 4-5 off, right? Wild card. You never know, Nikita. He might just go crazy at some point. He's showing he's willing to open with the bottom range of hands. So who knows what he's capable of post flop. Definitely looks like he likes to play C flops. And I'm not familiar with this player, so it's going to be fun to watch today. And we have got to see some great action thus far. Picasso hovering around 5 million. I mean, really just so far so good for him. And why? Not going to play around. Look at this 147K stack. Everyone got their eye on that. Is going to have to make a move pretty soon.
I think it's more at the beginning of these final tables, there's a lot of adrenaline, energy, and excitement. So people come out firing. But as time goes by and people calm down a bit, you'll see like less action and less 4-5 off opens, especially when people start busting. And the interesting thing is that nobody is really in the danger zone except Shanghai 666. Everyone has decent. No, there's also the name that we can't pronounce. Yeah. So
yeah.
we're two in the danger zone.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we could easily see a couple knockouts. And again, that's like why it's such a powerful play by Juan Pardo Dominguez, 3-betting that stack. When you see two players super short, you don't really want to get involved, right? Of course, he has ace, king suited, queens, jacks, ace, king, whatever, aces, kings, but all those other hands like king, queen suited, you're just not going to play. And here we go. Juan is now opening and getting flatted as we see a king, deuce, fours. Pretty good flop for fours, although, again, Juan Pardo Dominguez actually is in second place, crazy enough, with that stack. This is a very interesting dynamic at the final table. We have one huge stack, two very short, some other short stacks, so he has to tread lightly. Picasso knows that. Does check back, and boom, there it is. No waiting.
I don't think he's going to get paid, though. With the ace and king on the board, it's so heavily favoring his opening range. And again, I'm surprised he's opening ace-5 off. I need to restudy my ICM ranges. He brings the ace and checks it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So this is Picasso targeting
Queen
the
Jack, Queen 10.
Yeah, other pairs, right? The fives through jacks, even, right? Or queens even gonna have a hard time. Maybe they hold on for one, but ultimately, yeah, I think that's probably a one bet and done. I doubt he's gonna go for a bet here. Yeah, try to bluff there. He does just check. So nice turn card there. It was just a pure flip, ace-5 to fours, but does get to a river and is up to 2.1, almost about half of Picasso stack, a little less, and in second currently. So nice pickup there for Juan. Making some notes. I really do love like watching these guys. Like these are definitely a lot of the best players in the world at times. It's interesting. You see a hand like Jan Aaron's fold the eights to the open, right? These are just kind of things that maybe if you're not sure or it looks different or not what you would do, you should make a note of it, right? Talk to someone, look at it. And even me, right? I think we both were kind of like a little surprised, not saying it was like a mandatory call, but I think by default, we would, there'd be some calls at least. So that was a cool hand. We've seen the ace four off, 3-bet, right? Take an aggressive line out of the big blind. These are all sort of hands that are not mandatory, right? These are something that if you are seeing a different thing, it's worth looking at and think about why they're doing that. That's one of the best ways to improve. And hopefully you have some good friends, a good study group, a good peers you can talk with, bounce ideas off of and ask, but make a note, take a clip of the hand and check in with your friends. Cause I think one of the best ways to learn is to watch these final tables. Of course, it's hard to get there, right? Final table is different than the different stages of the tournament, but when you do make a final table, oftentimes we see a short stack that wins it. Anything can happen, and it's important to really understand how to play this phase of the tournament where there's so much money up for grabs.
Yeah, the strategy is entirely different. You forget everything you know about regular tournament poker and ICM. Everything is turned upside down. You're basically playing your chip stack and position on the table. And it's more about stack preservation than stack accumulation. So, but this specific lineup is still very eager to play, which is very interesting. I'm glad we got this table. It's going to be really fun 3 hours.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot here. Everyone's got a little something. Hard to make a pair, no limit hold'em. 8-9 does that, and that is the bingo card for Matt. Although Juan will recognize this is not one of the better cards for him. He all of a sudden loses to a handful of hands that he was beating. So don't know, depending on what Matt bets, going to be hard for him to continue here and put more in the pot, I think. But probably not a huge bet, right? He might go smaller. Although what would he do with ace jack, ace queen off, ace king off with the heart? He might, you can get creative. You can mix in some bigger sizings because you can get a guy with 10x or, a big thing. So he does actually go almost half pot. So big bet. Don't think it would have mattered. Juan was not interested. And Matt, our only GGMillion champion, picks up another pot, and we will go to the next hand. YYY with deuces. Would expect him to fold for sure with 2 short stacks and not a very good hand and a lot of players behind. But hey, been surprised before, Nikita.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. He found the fold. Look at that. Jan's with pocket nines and Juan with ace king suited. And button was a small blind. This could get very interesting.
Yeah, 2 guys that I would say probably have about as much of experience with each other as you could. I mean, obviously these hands, the button versus small blind, these stack depth, the quality of the hands, this is going to play out relatively similar most times, but both players also very aware of each other and know what they're capable of. So I think that actually leads more to the chance of certainty for a collision. But, if Juan 3-bets big, maybe is there a world where Jan's flats? I don't know. I doubt it. It's just too big of a hand. I mean, Juan is so capable of playing light here. He's got fold equity big time. And if he is even against a hand like ace king or ace queen, he's flipping. So I just don't see a lot of other versions than all in. Although again, there are 2 short stacks, right? I mean, you could argue to see a flop and continue maneuver post flop because of maybe that ICM, but you're just gonna pick it up so often too when you rip it here, and he does rip it.
Oh, he does. There's a snap.
Big moment for everyone, including the short stacks, rooting for a ace or a king, and Nikita's rooting for an ace or a king. I know that she wants one in there and healthy as it is not, and that is a big swing. Nikita, I'm nervous for your dinner wager right now. I really feel like you're in a tough spot, and that is also a tough beat for the 2 short stacks that were licking their chops for a pay jump, a flip, and that didn't happen as we see, and they are now, I mean, 80K in the big blind here. As we see YYY fold a pretty good hand, and Picasso's going to get to just happily raise. And this is, too short, right? Too short to fold. 8-5 suited takes a shot here, and both players pair. King Jack suited hits big bingo flop. Got to hit an 8 or a 5 non club, and that is not it. That is our first knockout. 8th place. GG's all around. The Elky GG's, if anything. Respect there to the man, Elky. And we are down to 8 players. Our first knockout, 35 minutes in the day. All right. Well, ace jack suited, short stack. Could limp, but not. I think it'd be better to limp a pair. He's going to probably just shove this here, I think, off the stack. Although he could get creative. Such a strong holding. But I think, again, Nikita, when there's other short stacks, you don't need to get, you don't want to get too cute there, right? You pick up the pot, you move on, and somehow you might get called by worse. So I do like that shove there. Maybe like 8s or 9s I'd limp in with, but I think that hand I would not. And what a time. You get jacks on life support, but you run into the blade smile with the aces. Hand rank 1, tier 1, American Airlines. And now all of a sudden we need, if you want the shorty to stay, gonna need to hit a 4-1 underdog here.
That's pretty cold.
That is light. I think we might have seen a jack not available. He's using all the gifts. He's got all kinds of them. And the river is, let's see, is it paint for a sweat? Nope. That is 7, just like that. 2 knockouts, 2 short stacks gone, 7 left. And we are moving. There it is. He's got the 7 out. He's letting everyone know what's going on. 7 remain. Big hands coming in here, Nikita. Another tier 1 hand. All right. Well, no messing around. All in.
For the gifs.
Using there is definitely okay. He's got, is that custom on GG, or can you like download more? Or is that just like he's got his whole arsenal in there? I mean, I'm seeing some new ones. I haven't seen these, but he's using a lot today.
He's having fun.
Yeah, he's having a little gift joyride over there. So we're down to 7.
You
Chip
said
leader
you
still
battle.
Picasso.
Sorry, you said you battle a lot with Smile the Hero, is it?
I think back in the day, yeah. Like I haven't played online really much because of mostly in the US, but I'm in Brazil. I am looking to play a little bit of the WSOP when it does release. Once it comes up, I'd like to. I haven't streamed. I mean, I streamed for years, and then the last year, I basically haven't at all played or online. So that was I look forward to getting back on and battling. But yeah, we used to kind of get into it. I feel like me and him used to have some words, and I don't really talk. I'm pretty friendly to everyone, but we used to kind of get into it and whatever. Like, yeah. So, but I know he's a great player, and I think he has some huge results. So, tough player.
Is your family with you in Brazil?
Yeah. Got the 4-month-old, got the 4-year-old. My wife, her family. They have I'm an only child. My wife has two brothers and a twin sister that all have 3, 4, 5 kids. So my kids are in heaven. They're playing with their cousins here. They're all in the area, and it's fun. But I got me and my parents, and then we have 24 people with her family here. So it's
That's
a big
so wholesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's different. I like it. How is India? Which part your poker popularity over there? It's booming, right? It's been booming for a long time.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely the biggest it's ever been. Although recently there's been a lot of change in the legal climate for poker. There's new taxation laws, and there's no clarity on which way the industry will swing. Given the new laws, they are taxing us to death, literally. So, yeah, we're waiting on some rulings, some court rulings and judgments, and let's see how it goes. But real money gaming, poker, fantasy, there's a card game called Rummy. It's all at the biggest, at its prime in India, and the biggest it's ever been. So it'll just be sad to see downswing from here. Oh, a pot to my player, Juan.
Yeah.
Wait, I had Tony as well. Never mind.
I think you do have Tony because I'll see. I have Jans, I have Picasso,
Yeah.
Smile, and you got Matt for sure. You have YYY for sure.
Yeah. You have
I think
Jans.
I have Jans, Picasso. I got Smile too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. I think that's right. I think you do have. I think you have Tony as well. Very short.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're sitting all right.
You have the
It's
three
not
big
over.
stacks. I don't like my chances anymore.
It's not over. It's not over. Trying to
That's
find this tweet as well. So I do have a tweet. If you guys want to retweet, it is a $50 giveaway. That's going to be cash for you. So we already have 40 people on there. I'm going to get that and drop that in the YouTube chat. Nikita, you're welcome to enter that. That you're qualified for as well. And look at this ace king suited, putting a little aggression on here on the exact type of hand that's going to have a hard time to continue.
very interesting. Without the backdoors, but it gets through. Sorry, you said I can enter the competition on YouTube?
It's on my, yeah, I just put this link in the YouTube chat. It's $50. It's out of my pocket. If you retweet that and you're tagged in it. So, you know, you're good luck. If you win it, I'll happily pay. If you're eligible, it's going to be random. If you win, I'll give an additional 50. That'd be kind of sketchy, right? If like the co-host comes in, wins the giveaway. So, but I will honor it if you get it. Yeah.
I'm kicking some back under the table.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make sure someone at home gets it. And here we go. Ace five, the shortest stack risk premium. You know, raise your edge. You know about this. He's the lowest. I can't imagine folding, right? He's actually over 2x shorter than the next stack. And he's got ace blind on blind versus the chip layer. This seems like a mandatory call, but hey, some people value their tournament life and just maybe find a little better spot. A little surprised by that fold, but you know, I get it. It's a lot of money and he wants to go out on his own terms. So decides to fold there. You would call Nikita, right? That's me and you are calling. I think I'm calling. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's close. It's close.
Which is a chip leader, of course I call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also future game to consider. It's obviously better to jam with these hands than to call off. But yeah, versus the chip leader, you have an ace, you gotta go with it. A lot of playful hands on this final table. It's almost like we're watching a highlight reel.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely some sweet hands. It's been, I'm making notes. I got a handful of notable hands, but I'll tell you, Tony's putting some spice out here. He's putting in some real curveballs to the people. The 4-5 off open alone was a tough hand to open. I mean, it was an aggressive hand. He didn't get to win it. We actually saw good aggression from Smiley Hero to win with 9 high. Had the best hand, didn't know it, but yeah, it's been active for sure. I think, you know, I'd say, I don't want to say every time is the most. Last week's show was insane. That was one for the ages. Like that was literally some of the most exciting, interesting, wild play I've seen today. We've definitely got a mix of it so far. It's definitely been a fun one. You know, it's very rare I see on the GG Millions where it's like tight and no one's going for it though. I feel like everyone's kind of, you know, battling. They're looking for the trophy and people are generally both going for it more than others. Ace 7 off. I mean, based on YYY's play, I don't think he's going to take jam there, right? We saw him fold ace 5 off blind on blind, so not going to. Does have a decent stack, right? That's probably one of his best spots is to jam on Picasso's open, right? Because he still has, well, the blinds just went up, so he now has a little less fold equity, right? But still, like that's going to be a decent spot for him to find a light open and go for it, but doesn't dare. Queen 10 off, can't blame him for folding. As we see Matt pick up ace-4 suited, and still we are 7-handed. How many, cause like in Goa, the casinos, how popular are they? Can you give me, if someone goes to India, that's where the casinos basically are, correct? Is Goa? Like give me, how does it compare to Vegas? Is it a strip? Is it like is it like a 5 casinos? Is there 50? Like how is it there?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not on land actually. They're floating casinos. So there are these ships on a river where people go, they take feeder boats to get on the ship and they play tournaments or cash games or whatever. And it's obviously not even comparable to Vegas. It's if we have a series, the World Poker Tour comes in and we have our domestic brands. The main event will get anywhere from 700 to 1,000 entries.
Okay.
About it. And yeah, they're floating casinos because land gambling on land is not allowed. So yeah, it's only Goa. And
Makes sense. And
yeah, sorry.
Well, I just want to, sorry to interrupt you, but I want you to play this mini game we have. And the viewers at home, think about what you would do. Smile the Hero opens, and Tony, who's going to be we know he's fun to play with. Here we go. Let's see. Let's play this out. So you're Smile the Hero. What are you doing here, Nikita? 223 in the middle, checks to you, Jack, Queen, high.
I would check back. This board favors the big blind range too heavily. In fact, I like Tony to lead out a bunch with a 7-high board. A 30% lead should be pretty good versus middle position open range. But when the ace comes, Smile the Hero should be betting. Yeah, I like the size, 30%. He has to rep the ace.
Yeah, he does bet. We do get called, and now what? Jack, Queen, high, board pairs, and you're on the river, and likely Tony would check, but let's see. Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to guess for Tony because he's got moves. He does check. Now what? This is hard.
Oh man, I mean, given the player profile with Tony, he seems sticky and seems like he's playing pretty wide. I would just give up, and if I have to bet, I'd go pretty large. Like I'd polarize myself pretty high, but I don't have any 5x's there. He does bet pot. We don't really have 5x's, but if you have to bluff this, you have to bluff really big. There's no other way around it. Tony could have led the river as well, repping the 5 because he has more 5x than Smile the Hero.
This is a very cool hand, and really your analysis spot on, Nikita. You know your stuff. You said even big size, and you did go for the big size, basically pot bet on the river. And Tony going to put 7x in a lot of difficult spots. And honestly, if you have like ace deuce, ace 3, ace 6, ace anything is tough, right? Because you realize like your opponent actually could be easily value betting ace queen, ace king in this particular line and run out. So very tough spot. And Tony looks very curious. So I don't think it's just a 7. Maybe he's got like ace, 3 or ace 6 or something, ace X, but I don't know, man. I don't think Tony would fold an ace, to be honest. So I'm not sure. I'm confused what he has. Maybe it is just like a 7 or king high.
I think it would be a 1 pair hand. I mean, yeah, it could be. He could have a 1 pair gut shot kind of hand, and now it's just so polarized. He's just thinking whether he should hero call. I don't think he has an ace here.
Yeah, I don't either. I think he would this way play, just call by now. So it does make me think he has like 7, 8 or something, like 7x, I guess, like 7 with something with it. Or, he also, we don't know what his hand is, but if he doesn't have a heart in his hand, maybe he could put his opponent on that. At the same time, there wasn't a bet on the flop. I mean, you're right about the range and the big blind favoring the flop. So I think there will be a lot of checkbacks. So yeah, very interesting hand. He's using a lot of clock there. You see every player has a chess clock. No one's really taking a lot of time. Everyone with a healthy clock, they start with 15 minutes. We do see players run out of that sometimes, as there is the first time a player's using a lot.
Wow, Smile the hero should have his heart in his mouth at this point. He has bet for 30% of his stack. He will be in trouble if Tony Lin does find the call.
This is they say think long, think wrong. I got to tell you though, I think this is this is a case where you might think long and think right. I just feel like he's favored more to calling the longer he takes. He's deep in thought. And this guy, also your point too, Tony seems like a player. He's willing to play a lot of hands. He mixes it up. I'd be very wary to try to bluff him. So even more, you know, Smile the hero. Oh wow, what is it? 7-8? Ace. He has the ace. He did have the ace. So you know, to be fair, I get the tank. It's not a slow roll, right? Like you're either it's so the bet was polarizing. He's gonna have ace queen, ace king, or he's gonna have pretty much air there most of the time. So nice call by Tony. Although, yeah, the 7 would have been pretty gangster, right? That would have been like a extra pat on the back. Ace 10 is like, okay, nice call, but kind of think you might have to call that.
Like you said, you would expect a slightly faster call with ace 10 over there. Smile the hero took a big hit to his stack.
Yeah, that was a big pot.
Snapshot by Tony Lin with the ace king.
Yeah, pretty pretty straightforward hands there. The stacks now are all pretty healthy, right? We only have what's it called? What's it there? We got only short stack really YYY.
YYY really grinding it out here. I think hoping somebody would bust given how fast everyone is playing. He's just trying to ladder up and try to get the pay jumps, which is not a bad strategy. You get a couple of people to bust before you get the pay jumps, and then you can just try to spin up from there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I mean a lot of money. Big time of the tournament. As we said, obviously the pay jumps are big, stacks are pretty tight, lot to play for. Picasso's sort of in his own island there, right?
Yeah, and he's not getting super active. He does have a runaway chip lead on this. Things would have to go horribly wrong for him to really not finish at least top 2. But it's poker, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Anything, any which way. And your main event bust out, you got 96. Were you short? Was it a big pot? What happened? Because it's funny, you see these like Joe Cotta and, you know, I think there's another one. Who else I'm thinking? They had 2 big blinds. I think Greg Merson, they had like 2 blinds. They come back and win at some stage of the tournament. Did you get short or was it a big pot when you went out?
I jammed, I think middle position open, and I jammed almost 22 big blinds from small blind with ace king, and middle position called off ace queen off.
Oh, shoot.
And clipped a queen on the turn.
Yeah. That's the word. Oh man, that's tough. It shows you though how well you have to run, right? For like 8 days, 9 days to like win those
honestly,
hands.
I'm not complaining. I ran really pure to get as far as I did, and that's just how it goes. It wasn't meant to be. Come back stronger next year. It's like you said, one milestone achieved, top 100. Now just try to go further next year.
For sure. Yeah, that I was thinking this.
What's the furthest that you have made it in the main?
I think I got 220. I got 260 this year. I've gotten 220 before, so that was it was kind of like similar period of the tournament where it's deep, but still you realize there's a lot. You just start then thinking like, okay, this is like, you know, a reasonable size. It goes fast too, right? Like on that day 5, I think it is. It goes from like 450 after like a few hours, it was down to 200. So like, there's still kind of people are just sort of churning out of there, pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, I shoved Ace Jack in the, I believe, hijack and Ace Queen in the big blind had Ace Queen. Also got knocked out by Ace Queen. I was behind though. Did not win. So tough hand. That hand is
Oh man.
yeah. It's
How many big
tough.
blinds you said?
I had like 9 blinds or something. 10 blinds actually on the dot. I had like just under 10 blinds. So yeah, it was pretty
Okay.
standard.
Fair enough.
But still, you know, you think about the main, that's like I don't even want to do it, right? Like I know I'm supposed to, but like in my head, I'm like, let me just maybe wait like a little better spot or, you know, be more patient. But you gotta give yourself a chance too.
Of course, because if you blind down to say from 10 big blinds, you blind down to 4 or 5 big blinds, then you double up, you're back at 10 big blinds. You know, you're actually in the same position. So you have to take a spot with Ace Jack. In my case, I am quite surprised that my opponent called off 22 big blinds with Ace Queen off from middle. I think, of course, I won the call every single time. I feel like it was also because I was playing so aggressive throughout, and I jammed on him. He opened a couple of times, and I just jammed on his open. So I think this time he just decided to be sticky. So I think it was more of my image and how I was just going pretty aggressive with my all-ins but yeah, usually because he's a very good English reg. I'm forgetting the name now, but would you call?
Yeah.
Would you with 100 people left, open to Ace Queen off, 22 big blinds, effective jams? No, right?
No.
Ace Queen
But
suited, yeah, probably yes, definitely.
I don't think so in the main. I don't 2-hour levels, like I just don't think that's the time where people are making like power plays. Like I just don't see it. I don't think that's I mean to call off too, right? But here we go. 9-10 king 10. This time calls with king 10, folds before with ace 5 off, and now is in a lot of trouble. Gets the best hand. He's in good. Can he chop? Is that a jack? Maybe. Yeah. Oh no. A king. King, it's not enough. He wanted the jack. He wanted the jack. There's a 9 shown by Jans. That's painful to rub that in there. There is a little needle action there. 6 left. Payout jumps have happened. 76,000. Fit will be almost 100. And we are here playing for the win, playing for that $250,000 plus on the up for grabs still. 6 left and wide open. Picasso does cross the 5 million mark as we see a shove. Matthew realizing Picasso going to open wide. Good hand to shove. Picks it up. Smile the hero is your short stack. And Picasso definitely could 3-bet this too. Could do it. He's been flatting Juan part of the Mingas. It hasn't been going so well. He's running this sort of top of the range. Does pass up the spot.
He should definitely be applying pressure over there with Smile the Hero. A bit like.
So Smile does call, does not raise, and actually gets a very favorable spot all of a sudden. And got to just fade a backdoor spades or gut shot at the moment. And thinking how to proceed, does just call, hits a dreamy card. He wasn't sure he was good. Now he's going to feel much better. And decision for Juan. I mean, he does have a spade. Thinking about what his opponent has. Can he get his queen to fold? Not sure. He actually would have been betting into the top of the range. And now 450,000 SPR, just above 1. Let's see. Does he go for some small bet? Try to get paid something? This is not going to be a super strong line. I mean, Juan doesn't look like he's got a big hand. He does go for all of it, though. Maybe, you know, again, maybe just tries to make his opponent make a hero call at that point. Thinks that he knows his hand is good. So, interesting.
And he's also hoping Juan has the ace and try to get all the money.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess I don't know how many ace he's going to check back on the turn. I guess he might.
Yeah,
He might pot control some, but just based on that, I think he's going to think Smile the Hero is going to
that's
jam
true.
some of his aces, and also there's spades. He did have a jack of spades, right? So that worked a little against the flush draw possibility, but here Queen 10 to Jack's
Oh.
pretty bad turn here. Is going to be less likely that his opponent has a queen and he doesn't have hearts and he doesn't have a 5 or a 7. So all the draws available. And Juan could definitely continue betting here.
Very decisive pot control. He might be able to get away from his jacks on this river.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know though. Like honestly, it's as played, it's sort of like you're so high up, right? Like queen, I mean, 5-7, all these big blind hand misses, all the heart stuff miss, all the 5-3 suited, 5-7 suited misses. Sure, your opponent could have 6x, could have queen x and whatnot, but I just wow, goes for the jugular here. That is greedy. I gotta say, that is a greedy bet. Like, okay, 450, okay, but all of it, I mean, I guess
Yeah,
maybe you hope your opponent has a 6. Like, I
yeah.
don't know. Wow, interesting. I gotta note that one. That is very interesting bet. Thoughts, Nikita? Maybe an overbet, like 1.5. I just feel like that is really like a big bet. You're asking for, what are you getting called by there?
Yeah, yeah, I don't have a clear answer to that. I feel he could have opted. It has to be more polarized for sure. So either like a block bet or a big bet, but definitely not all in, because what, like ace high is never hero calling you. Even jacks is folding. So at this point, even jacks and kings are the same hand. So I would intuitively want to block that river, but I'm not 100% sure.
I like an overbet, like or a pot. Like I like a big bet, right? You, because I don't like the hand, like a pair like that can't really fold for a reasonable bet. But I don't know. That's also why I'm interested, because I'm sure a good reason behind what he expects to happen, or what he thinks he can get called by. Maybe a 6, right? Maybe somehow, but there's not many 6s from that position that he would be
Yeah.
opening, like a6 suited, or but yeah. And here Tony, this last hand, Juan did 3-bet king queen off out of position and got 4-bet by Tony. Someone who was opening 4-5, certainly king queen off looks attractive to go. Also, just a good hand selection to do it. And as played, we are going to see both players with a 4, but 10-4 does chop. It
Stop
looked
it.
like he was going to maybe win, but chop is right. Nice. Still 6-handed here. Still 6-handed. Ace 4, 10, 5. Tony goes for the raise, a little over 3x. No contest. What's the best time of the year for Goa, if you're going to come, or for poker in Goa?
I would say I mean, people should come to Goa just for Goa and not for poker. But January is my favorite month. January and February in Goa, it's a tourist destination. So it's a beach town. There's a lot of events and food and festivals and carnivals and all sorts of, like, it's very lively, really fun. Uh, Definitely one of my favorite places on planet Earth, Goa. And yeah, I think February is a very good time to visit if you want to. There should be a tournament series around that time because the season is also it's not super hot. Otherwise, for the rest of the year, it gets pretty hot and humid.
Oh, is that so? That is literally like, so during the summer it's really tough, right? It gets super hot, like June, like
Yeah,
July, August.
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we invite you really soon.
Yeah, I'd like to get out there. I almost came maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I had something lined up to go and then didn't come last second. I was talking to come out with yeah, to come out there, and I do want to get there. It's on top of my list. I'm going to Korea, as I mentioned before the show, and Japan. I've never been to those, so that'll be gonna go check the APT out. Never been. Gonna do some work with them and hang out as well and play. I heard they're great events, so I'm excited to go to that. The end of I believe it's like the end of August. I think the 25th or something starts. So
That's correct. It should be one of the biggest APTs in Asia. It's going to be really, really cool. And I would definitely recommend taking out some time and going to Seoul, because the tournaments are in Incheon, which is about an hour and a half from the actual city. Incheon is pretty nice as well, but it's mostly just hotels and casinos, and there's, I think, a club over there, but I don't know if it's operational. Do you plan to visit Seoul?
yeah, for sure. And actually, where the office for GG is, I'm gonna go in there
Yeah.
and meet up, and some of these guys too that do an amazing job with production, of course, and the quality of the show. So it'll be fun to put some faces with names there as well. So that'll be good to go there for a couple of days. Yeah, but is it like a train only? It's an island. I don't understand. I was looking around trying to figure it out. Like, is it not? It's an island. Where the venue is.
No, it's not. It's not an island. It's just far out. It's out of. It's 1.5 hours by road out of Seoul, but it's not an island or anything. It's where the
Okay.
airport is,
Yeah.
and it's more like a business sort of business meetings, business center sort of situation, and casino.
Right. Yeah, I was just confused because I like the travel. Like when I looked at the options, it seemed like it was only train option. I didn't see like car. I couldn't really see on a map. Like I tried to like do it, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was doing it wrong,
You
but it
should be
didn't.
able to hire a taxi for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
you'll have to ask the reception or something like that.
Oh,
Ooh,
you know what time it is, Nikita. This is your time. Mini game. Let's see if you can get it correctly, played perfectly again. As well, we see. Oh, we got a little. Oh no. Well, we see. That's okay though. That's all
I
right.
saw
Maybe there's
that.
someone else. That's okay. Still, you get to guess what to do. Maybe there's someone else. Oh, maybe we'll see another play here, right? Maybe someone else is gonna be involved, and now you have a decision with both. That could be the case. Nope. All right. Well.
No.
All right. Mini game over, guys. No mini game on this one. We'll do it again. But we are seeing a big flop. This is definitely a tricky one, and a check back from Tony.
Check back. Interesting.
And Queens has to feel pretty good now. And there's a lot of draws. There's straight draws. There's two flush draws. And hello.
Oh.
That is the daily quads right there. Just daily quads. I mean, what a spot. Queens, everything misses. Not many nines your opponent's going to have. You block queen, king. You got to feel good here. And this is going to be probably a big bet. You target 10x. I guess there's a world where you check, try to get your opponent to bluff, but he just goes big. I like that. I like that bet. And he is going to get some bad news when this gets put upstairs on him. What a dream spot. Tony, you're opening 4-5 off. You're playing wild. You get quads, big bet on the river. I mean, you're thinking Vegas to Mirage. You're thinking of everything here. You are absolutely feeling good. That is for sure.
I think one of the things betting big on the river allows you to do is get away from the hand once you're jammed on. Because if you bet small and then somebody raises, then it's more like, oh, they were attacking a weak bet. But with a big bet, it allows you to get away. So I hope Jans finds a fold. Actually, I don't hope Jans finds a fold. He's not my guy.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, this is a big one. Big moment. I mean, honestly, It's close. What do you think here? I just feel like it's actually, if you were looking at all the, you might level yourself too. You're like, oh, Matt's short, Smile's short. This guy, there's like putting a lot of pressure on his particular stack.
Yeah, he is blocking king, queen, queen eight. But those hands are, I don't know if they're jamming the river because it's very the board is paired, so only full houses are jamming.
I mean, I think generally you're just going to see a fold, but I feel like he's going to call this, like, versus this guy, versus this situation. The board is your block queen king. What nine does he have? Ace nine suited? Like, does he just have that? And would he even go all in with ace nine suited? Right? Do you think he does? And do you expect him to check back jacks or tens? Do you expect that?
Yeah, it's a super tough spot.
My son's here trying to get in. He's oh man, I'll tell you what, poker is amazing, but there's nothing quite like being a parent. I'll tell you that. It is a different world for sure. But poker prepares you. You've seen it all. Variance. Oh,
Yeah.
one sec. Sorry here.
Yeah, no, take your time. I am just going to switch to my AirPods because I think the tech team is asking me to use them. Let me just confirm.
One sec. My son, I swear you can't make this up. He's asking me for a work sticker. I swear that's what he just said. And he wants one of these. You want a work sticker? Okay. I'm going to bring you that for you. I'll slide it. So give me a sec here.
That is so cute.
Buddy, here. Into the door. I love you. In the little. Those are the golden ones too. Those are hard to give away, but how are you going to say no to a 4-year-old?
That is
banging
so
on
cute.
the door. You see, he called it a work sticker. I've never heard him say that.
He speaks. I thought he's 4 months old.
4 years. 4 year. I have a 4-year-old and a 4 month. 4 year and a 4 year and a 4.
Okay.
4-year-old.
Right.
The 4 month would be impressive. That would be that would be something
kind of creepy if your 4-month-old is talking already.
Yeah, no, it would. That'd be. I mean, the world's getting wild, but I think Jans is going to call. I just think he's going to just say, you know what? This guy is just out of line too often. He's trying to be a hero. He's got a good hand to do it. Doesn't have a diamond. He checked back the flop. He blocks queen king that like maybe could get tricky like queen king. I just think he's going to call, and I can't blame him. I just feel like this guy is the guy. He's opening 4-5 off. Like, what nine does he jam even?
I mean,
just checks,
yeah, he does. His check back on the flop was very interesting, but the thing is that he's not going to check back king, queen, and queen eight. He's going to bet that. He is not beating jack nine suited, 10-9 suited, pocket nine, pocket 10. So there are a lot of hands that actually beat queens.
I love this Not the Heroes gifts. I mean, he's got all these gifts. I don't even know where he's finding these gifts at. He's got some crazy gift game, and he's the popcorn is out. Everyone at the table is rooting for a call for a lot of reasons. One more work sticker. Okay.
Oh, that is so cute.
I have one of these. Oh, yeah, I do. Give me one of these. All right, buddy. You got it. Don't waste them. Hope you're using them good. He's got a call, right? We're going to see a big pot here. This is just going to light up the table. We're going to lose a player. We're going to beat a 5. Jan Ahrens is going to go out. Everyone's going to be happy about that because he's a tough cookie. And your guy, Tony Lynn, is about to be a force. I just feel it. He's not folding. He's using all the time bank. He's just trying to figure it out. You know?
Oh, that's a very, very long tank. He finds the fold.
Finds the fold. And he is going to be happy with that because that one hurt. You could see that one hurt him. I mean, that was big. That was a big fold. I mean, that's a tough fold. That is not an easy fold. But honestly, it's also like in some respects, you're just like ICM wise, you're just like, man, how? All right, Joseph, come on, Joseph. I gotta have some from. I gotta have a couple for me.
Picasso here with pocket tens and Juan in the big blind with pocket kings versus the chip leader. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this. I always say aces and kings. Getting aces and kings in the big blind is the worst position to have them.
Wow, look at this Picasso. I mean, just there's no. This is just going in, right? This is 24. Yeah, he's got a big hand. He's chip leader. He can afford it. Probably could be ahead. This guy Juan also very aggressive. Yeah.
Juan induces there with a very, very small raise. There you go.
Yeah.
Juan, come on, let's get back in the game.
The ace comes, but he doesn't have an ace. He's got the diamonds covered.
We have diamonds.
He's got diamonds covered. It's looking thin. It's gonna hold. It's a double for Juan. There it is. Yeah, that is a big pot. That evens things out. That does narrow the gap. We got a ball game here now as Jan Ahrens, as we didn't see a Brazilian today, right? No Brazilian final table. That was like a crazy streak. I swear there was like 30 weeks in a row or something where it was not only Brazil, but with Brazil and Austria today. At least two Austrian flags there. Very tough players, I would say. Where do you rank give me your power ranking countries? I know it's a little stereotypical, but like where do you give a lot of respect to in the world on poker?
That puts me on the spot. That's a very, very tough question.
That's what we're here for. This isn't a cakewalk. We want to get some real answers today. This is good journalism.
You want me to be realistic? Because I can be unrealistic in India, number one.
That's fine. You can be diplomatic.
Oh man. I mean, Germany, I always thought it was Germany, but now not so much anymore. How many do you want? You said top 5?
I mean, yeah, top 3. Like, just give me a couple. Like when you're like, you sit down and you're kind of like, all right, this guy's gonna, this country is like, you're at let's go day 5 table draw. You look down and like, which countries do you not really want to see?
Sorry, I was just about to swear. Probably Germany, Brazil. Definitely, I think French. I mean, France is a country I'm just not scared of. I hope no French people are watching this stream.
Shots. This is a great question. I gotta ask every guest this. There we go. All right.
The French regs are on a different planet altogether. They're just the strangest regs in the world. But some of them, I'm a huge fan of, for example, Joe Vieira and David Nikita. Oh, Spain. Spain is another one. Spain players are very good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but otherwise, the majority of the population of France, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. So, yeah, not France.
That's awesome. USA, USA's got some of the best, but there's also some like generally kind of wild play. I'd say it's so popular, right? There's so many people coming into the game right now in the US. Like there's a wide mix, but then you also have some of like the absolute crushers in there. So it's tough, but just there's a lot, right? It's a big pool of players for sure. And as you mentioned, popular as well. US poker tournaments are up. World Series set records all over the place. It's an exciting time for poker online. I mean, look, GG's putting up 200 million festivals, like $200 million guarantees and stuff for series. Like it's pretty crazy, right? It's a wild time for poker. One of the best we've seen in at least, I don't know how long. When did you start playing?
I started playing like almost 10 or 12 years ago, but professionally 6, 7 years ago. But I've been playing over a decade now. How about you?
I started in like 2003, right around Moneymaker, Boom, and Rounders. Saw that movie. That was sort of it for me. I loved it. And I was playing games. I was playing board games, video games. It was just like, all right, you can win some stuff. And yeah, it was just someone brought chips to a soccer camp, and that was it. I was in love and never stopped. Yeah.
That's
a long time.
2 decades ago. Wow. We didn't even know poker existed back then.
Yeah. No, it's crazy as we see a pretty nice board for 4-7. Of course, the board does pair, lose to a few hands here. Of course, there is a tough spot for Tony. He does lose to a flush. He loses to a lot of things. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's a very big bet.
I wonder if I don't think there's a version. Yeah, I guess he's just considering call or fold. The hand's too good. No reason to try to turn into a bluff. I mean, there's full house possibilities. There's flush possibilities. So I think he's just debating on a hero call here. Board got pretty ugly by the river. It was already dicey. False. Paid off. Picasso back to peak, about almost peak, 4.6 million. And Tony, a little misstep. The second place stack does shift chips over to the right, and still healthy though. Still second place. Got to shake it off, right? Not up stuck.
And blind versus blind. Chip leader is expected to bluff a lot. It's fine. It's not the worst. Aces versus kings. Oh my god.
Wow. Six-handed, just pain.
Back with a vengeance.
I mean, there's just not anything you can do but hit a king or he has both flush draws, possible straight, right? Of course, but this is nasty. This is what you don't like to see. This is one of the things in poker, skill and luck. You just sort of there's nothing you can do here except get lucky if you are the 4-1 dog. I mean, this is a big pot gonna go down here.
Do you ever just call here? Calling is fine, right? With aces.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just he's in that stack depth where I guess it's like close to just decide that there's your opponent's gonna maybe get it in, but there are hands will fold. So I like the call, right? You just basically now you set up a SPR, a stack to pot ratio less than 1 for your opponent. There's almost like you're gonna let him hit some boards that maybe there's some hands he will fold that he thinks are value to start, that then decides not to put the rest of his chips in. So I actually really like the call here.
Yep, Picasso should snap this off.
Yeah, trap set, great spot. 2 cards to fade. There is another paint, not a king. Needs a king only, or we will be down to 5. Not paint, and that is a jump for the short smile the hero. And on cue there, look at the Elke claps, like in unison. John Aarons and Smile, the Austrians repping Elke. And There you go. Tony, though, 4-5 off. This is maybe his signature hand, like the diaper. No, he's going to fold this time. I don't know why. He played it last time, folds this time. Less people left, but a little different stage of the tournament, and he is going to get out of the way. Smile the Hero is a jam stack behind. Yeah. This is a all-in. We see the all-in. Ace-3 folds.
And fold. I think Smile the Hero will have to take some wider spots here because future game becomes more important with 4 or 5 players left because you blind out way more often. So the blinds are coming around to you really fast, so you have to try and take a few more spots. And as the shot is stacked,
Yep. Well, ace-8 suited, 8-9 suited. Both players not in love with the board, but 9 does have a pair and position. And ace-8 beats some hands. Let's see. Just probably going to go check and decide, I would imagine, right? There's some stuff. Does he ever want to block? Guess goes block. Okay. And here we go. Nikita, redemption for the spot. We got the new spot for the mini game. 10 deuce blind on blind. Very, very normal spot. And let's see here.
I like to bet over here. Yeah, I like the bet.
Yeah.
Oh, that went really fast. And we make a straight. This should not be so complicated.
Yeah, this should be, I guess, the sizing, right? What do you do on sizing? There are hearts available, 10 jack B2, but still, you're pretty high up in your value here.
I would go with 67% pot, 2/3. I mean, it seems he's gone a bit bigger, but yeah, it works. Ooh, interesting.
Wow.
That's what
Nikita.
really
Man, these aren't fun, right? When now you started realizing you're calling to chop, like this is tough. Like it's really hard for this to ever be
yeah. There was no ISO pre-flop, so you wouldn't assume that small blind has a lot of suited cards because it was just limp check back. But when he does call the flop, his range is condensed around flush draws and pair open enders. He would play any 2 hearts like that for sure. And you're right, it's probably just a chop and you don't want to call for a chop.
Man, I mean, Tony got these are the time banks. This is what you wonder how do the chess clocks work? And we do see some players getting a little shorter, a couple going to be in the 5-minute mark here as there are some decisions. I like the format GG does too on this, right? It's like people tank in spots, but like they'd let you have a clock. And, you know, there are some times where you really have to think. And this is one of those here, a very difficult spot.
The only bluffs in his range, I think, would be an ace of hearts. It should be either ace of hearts or just value. I don't think he's doing it with just a 10.
Man, I just wow, nice. Yeah, just hard to see a bluff there, but nice play. Got a really good chance to get the most, right? You leave your opponent a chance to bluff, and then you also catch him with a hand like that where he may pay off. But discipline fold. I think that's close. That's a tough spot. Tough spot. Very tough. Nice fold there from Tony. Did you get the tweet out, Nikita? Are you in? Are you in on the giveaway?
I could not. I would have to log in. I'm on a different system right
No,
now. I just
don't worry.
decided.
I don't want. I listen. Save me 50. I feel like you're running good today. You got. I don't want to. I don't want to even.
Yeah, I would have to like re-log in, and I'm like in the middle of the stream, so I didn't want to. I don't remember my password even. So.
All right, fair enough. Well, guys, I've got so many notes from this stream. We will get a highlights out on this one. I've had an extremely, I got to say, this has been really fun. This has been a super fun stream today so far. We've seen some great play, some aggressive play, and Picasso has done a good job. He sort of just chipped up. He had a little adversity, but here he is, chip leader with the 4 other players, so 5-handed, and he has got a commanding lead with the current situation. And Smile the Hero, your short stack, definitely a tough player, and that looks like the Rambo all in. He is all in, and he does get it through. Had the best hand, but nice spot for him. Chips up a little bit. Yeah, this is anyone's game still. No clear winner pick at the moment. This is Picasso's to lose, if you will, right? He is in a great spot, but Tony Lin with a nice big stack on his left still can put some trouble, some hurt on him. And the other players that are healthy, Jan Arons and Juan Pardo Dominguez, both with enough chips to do some damage if they get going. So still a lot to play for. No clear winner. And Sevens.
Do you play a lot of live poker, Jeff?
I like PLO. I do. I have my own game in Miami. I play like PLO. I like 5-card actually is now my favorite game, but 4 and 5-card PLO would be my favorite. And then, I don't play as much. Honestly, the kids take away. It's just been more trying to less travel. I already still do some, but trying to just kind of like, I've taken the last year or two, been less poker for me in general, and had fun to go to Vegas, played a few events, and not playing a ton right now.
How about tournaments? Live tournaments? You go to Florida a lot or LA?
Yeah, I play the Hard Rock has great stuff. They have really nice schedule a couple times a year, so that's pretty easy to get to. And then Vegas, I did go to the series for like 2 weeks this year instead of the whole time. But that's about it. I like Triton. I usually go to the Triton events. This one with the not going with the sort of newborn, but I'll play like the PLO. 25K Tritons. I like those. They don't get as many people though, like because it's predominantly short deck and no limit. So they have like 2 PLO events, but I do like some commentary or interview stuff generally, and then I'll try to play like 1 PLO event when I go. That's like what I typically do.
So. I'm curious, when you're playing live around the US, what is the female participation like in tournaments? What percentage would you assign usually?
What percent are females?
Yeah.
Like 10, maybe 10, like 1 at a table, something like that, usually. So it's pretty low.
It's been 10% for as long as I can remember, but I felt like this year in the summer, I did see a lot more women come out and play. I don't know if it was just a coincidence or I felt like a lot more women in the US have started playing poker, and it was really refreshing to see. Especially because the game is gender neutral. Like there is no specific advantage males have over women. So it's very surprising to see that a lot of women they don't take to the game. Do you see a difference? Do you see a rise in numbers?
I would say I would say there is a slight rise. Like I would not like overwhelming for what I've noticed, but don't have a huge sample, but I do think you're right. I think there have been a bit more women in general like getting involved. I kind of notice it in updates, or you see a little bit more of a presence there. So I think that's fair to say.
I hope that changes. I really hope that changes.
Yeah
that's
makes sense. I think honestly poker seems to be getting more popularized. It's more, there's more like the, the Botez sisters, or Andrea, Alexander. She was at my table actually, and right when the money hit, she took a 6-6 sick beat. Like she had kings to king jack off on like ace 5-3. Had to go running queen 10. Yeah, it was pretty sick. I got in kings to aces at the same table right after, and or before, I think, and I won. Like I hit a straight, and then she got in kings to king jack off and lost. And like I was like, oh man, like that's that's just harsh. Yeah, and she, like that's the type of stuff though. Like she's great because she brings in sort of chess, a similar game. She brings in women, like yourself. Like anytime, you got, there's like streamers, Twitch, YouTube content. I think that really does help a lot when you guys are the girls that are showing that it's exactly. There's no reason it can't be any different, and poker is becoming so popular, and I do think it's great to see that there are more coming. I just don't know how big a difference it actually is. Yeah, it's got to be more though. I would like to. I don't know like where the clearest. Do you know the best way to get that metric? Have you seen any numbers on it in the last year?
That's a good question. No, not really. The only way to really look at it is if you go deep into Hendon Mob and Global Poker Index and filter by gender and run some calculations, probably determine a ratio. But yeah, it's still. I think women are just in general more risk averse, and that's what it is. But in the US specifically, I see a lot more because the game is so much more prevalent. People play from a very young age. They play around the kitchen table with their parents, and it's on WSOP. It was on ESPN and things like that. So it's seems like it's a very like mom and pop game as well, and people enjoy playing as a part of the culture, which is not very true in Europe and other parts of the world.
True. I'd say that's very fair. Yeah, my wife, I took her. I saved a story before, but we played like a St. Jude's charity event maybe 3-4 years ago, and she, folded like early on. She's at the table next to me, and like whatever, and she folded kings pre-flop, and then I said, and then she kind of knew the rules. I was just like, or no, maybe she opened. It was a raise. I forget. It was something ridiculous. I was like, all right, that's good. Like we're gonna call it there. Like that's enough. The risk adverse is I'd say that's fair from my
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
We just missed a hand where Tony Lynn, I think, open shoved ace king off and Picasso folded pocket eights on the big
blind. Yep, very interesting. Again, showing, I think this is a lesson we see time and time again on the GG Millions is power of being first in. You want to be these pairs and such. It's like, okay, there's just times where you may have the best hand, but it's just not worth it. Like he's got such a dominating situation that like he wants to be the one raising, he wants to be the one dictating the pot size. He doesn't want to be risking flipping or like taking big risk. He's just happy sort of picking up pots, putting on pressure, shoving, utilizing Smile the Hero as a short stack to sort of manicure his situation as well with the other stacks, and he's in a good spot. So that is certainly worth noting. Jack 4, ace 5 in the lead. Jack 4 decides not to go for a crazy move here. Doesn't really have any semi bluff equity. Checks down. Ace does arrive. Ace 5. Tony Lynn gonna feel, he wasn't feeling good, feel even better. Although again, there could be kicker issues, right? You got to be worried about that too. There is a chance your opponent hits an ace and would have to have a 9 to play. Ace 7, ace 3 wouldn't do it. So just checks back though. Doesn't see any value. Wins the pot. 2.5 mil. Gonna be actually a little more. 2.6 versus the 5.9. Everyone else still in striking range. Smile the Hero is down to under 10 big blinds though.
Yeah, Smile the Hero is gonna look to pick up some hands here.
And this is problematic for Jan's Aaron's. Again, we may see these two players with similar stacks battle. This time would be Super similar would be a big outcome here for just call though, not raise. Interesting. Ace queen suited and
I was just
gets
gonna
a
say
favorable
ace
flop.
queen suited just plays so well post flop. No need to inflate the pot. Play small ball with a good hand. Flops a flush draw. He could play this aggressively over here because at the small blind 8-5-3, he has more of those versus ones open, but he opts to just call.
Okay, well, ace queen, ace king, and ace queen suited. The good news is going to get out of a potentially really devastating cooler, and ultimately, isn't going to lose a stack and probably just not lose any more chips there as ace queen suited does get out of the way. So good illustration of how to proceed in that spot, and he's going to be happy to see the result there. What could have been really bad, and now Smiley Hero gets tens on the short stack on the button, and he will be all in. King 9 off, starting to get pretty close to having to look him up, but he does fold.
Still pretty expensive for his stack, almost quarter of a stack, so fair enough.
I love the Rambo consistency. When he puts it on, it's in. He is all in, and can't even see his cards there, right? Like ace 10 suited, they're blocking when he's all in, and he is happy to be chipping up right now with a long way to go, though. Still needs to sort of double to get out of the last place position, and 5-handed. We still are 5-handed, right around that 100K payout mark. And the Twitter tweet up. I see a lot of you hitting that retweet. That's on my Jeff Gross Poker Twitter pinned message. You can see Nikita, the final table plus banner for today. So appreciate you guys hitting that. I'm guessing.
I am going to figure out how to retweet.
The $50 will still be live, but it's you want to do it while we're still going. It's got to let him know, Nikita. We got to let India know it's late there, right? It's late in the night, but maybe some people can't sleep. They want to tune in. They don't know what's going.
It's not late in the poker world, though. the grinders are still awake.
It's true. It's very true. That's a good point.
Okay, I retweeted it.
Beautiful. Let's see if yeah, let's see here. We're gonna have an all in. I think 700,000. We gotta open the light open and shove. And actually though, Jan Aaron just says, hey, my hand's too good. I don't care. There's an open. I'm risking it, but I'm ahead. Ace queen king jack. Fair fight. Ace high in the lead. 8-8 deuce. Paint. Splits the king jack. Ace queen looking good, has to fade. 3 outs on the river, does it. Knockout. GG Smile the hero. GG is all around. Two Elky, 1 D-Negs, and we are 4-handed. We will cue the giveaway as well here. We're going to go ahead and cue a keyword. Let's put in the chat. As I said, it'll be $50 or $100. Let me go ahead and do that. The keyword is going to be GGPoker Nikita, and then enter your GG username. If you do that, if you don't have one, you're in a jurisdiction you can't play, give it to a friend, use their username. Maybe they give you half of it or you gift them something, but however you want to do it, that is the keyword. GGPoker space Nikita space GG, your username, and hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. That is how you enter. Thumbs up plus that. Good luck. 4-handed. Here we go. Here we go. Picasso laying down the law. Queen 4 off, coming after Tony. And this has been a well-played final table. All 4 of these players, I think, have played very well, and we are going to see who can take this down for the champion to be. And we will have a new champion, as Matt was our only GGMillion champion. So we will have a new GGMillion crown to award today. No one loves the board. Jack King has got the lead. Tony with a jack. No one's showing any really aggression here as the A7 suited and 5-6 suited just, don't have much to even think about. And King Jack has got a lock on the hand if they're able to get to a river here. Checks around though. What's your favorite place, Nikita, you've ever traveled to play poker?
I really loved Melbourne when they had the Aussie Millions. Even though I didn't play much, I played only a few tournaments. It was more to go and see Australia, but it was so beautiful. And the people are so nice. The food is amazing. Have you been to Australia?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Aussie Millions a few times. Really cool. Really cool spot. Actually, the WSOP had that WSOP Australia too. I went for that.
Oh,
That was,
okay.
that
When
was
was
really
that?
fun. Man, it must have been 2014, I think. Yeah. I think it was
Right.
2014. So long time ago. Man, they've had a few times, I think, but I went in 2014. I played Aussie Millions once and that once, and yeah, loved it. The tennis goes on. It was like in January for the Aussie Millions, and really beautiful Melbourne. So many great coffee shops and just a
Yeah.
fun city. Very very nice atmosphere. Yeah, it's great.
And how about you? What's your favorite place that you've traveled to?
I mean, whoa, big all in here. Gonna get the fold there. Ace King versus King Jack suited. My favorite place to play in the city that goes with it is Playground Poker in Montreal. I just have a soft spot for it. I have two of my biggest scores, but like more importantly, the city is just amazing. Like it's just like the
Yeah.
food's amazing. The water is just something in it. Like everyone's friendly. Like everyone's happy.
Yeah.
It's affordable. It's like the only city in North America that I would say is like Europe, if that makes sense. Like that I've been to at
Nice.
least.
Yeah.
So
But how you're describing it is how I would describe Melbourne as well.
yeah, it's similar. It's similar, and those are actually two of my three favorite cities. I think I'd throw Istanbul in there. I've played some private cash games, but I've never. There's not. They didn't. Not no series I know of tournament wise there, but I've gone a few times. Like when I've hit Cyprus, I've swung through there, and it's that city's really beautiful. Like there's the Bosphorus River splits Asia and Europe, so like Turkey is in
Yeah.
both, which is pretty cool. You can drive over a bridge and be in Asia. Part of Turkey's Asia, part of Turkey's
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
it's Europe. So it's
Europe.
a beautiful place.
Did you go to the did you go to Cappadocia?
No, no, have not.
Yeah.
No, I've heard. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's like you're on an alien planet.
Yeah, I mean, travel wise versus poker, it's definitely that's something like. Would my advice to players too is if you're younger, you don't have family or married or whatever, and you're just traveling the world and going to poker, like definitely try to go a few days early. It's even better than going late because then you like get acclimated to the time zone. If it's different, you kind of get in a rhythm, and also you get to explore the city. How many times do you go to a poker stop and you just like don't really leave the casino, right? It just happens that way. So I would that's something I think is really cool. If you get to go travel around, try to go explore first and then dive into the poker. Because once you get into poker, it's like you're playing late, you're in there, there's stuff to do. There's good restaurants usually on property or whatever. And then you're just kind of like, you don't end up getting out so much. So that's something I wish I did more. I did some, but I think that's important.
I always make it a point to have a few days before or after and just travel and explore. I've been to a lot of national parks around the US while traveling for the WSOP. I've been to Yellowstone,
Yep.
Yosemite, Lake Tahoe, just
Yep.
surreal. So magnificent. It's unreal. It's definitely an experience worth taking. Even Bryce Canyon and, just everything is just so beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that fully. It really it is. It is. And we'll tell you what's beautiful is kings on the button versus the chip leader has sevens. And that is a call. Doesn't get aggressive, doesn't try to utilize the pressure of ICM in this spot, which would have worked out poorly, but you could have been a good spot, right? Because the other stacks are all so similar, but he does err on caution and does not go for it. And that's going to be likely save him a lot of chips. We'll see though, right? Still could be a 7. Still could be some runouts where he gets very curious.
He has to call here. The button is going to see bet pretty wide range, even though it's small blind calling. Small blind range consists of a lot of Broadway cards, and when the Broadway cards are whiffed, I think, oh, he check raises. He says, you know what, I'm just gonna raise here for protection. I don't want to see any eights or nines or jacks on the turn, and ace has got to slow down the action here.
Yeah, interesting line. I kind of like it. You know, you're going to get like Jack Queen and just King Jack off. Some of these hands that are just sort of stabbing to just fold, and you're going to win there. And if you don't, you're going to slow down a lot because you're going to realize your opponent is weighted towards 10x plus Jacks, Queens, Kings, whatever. So cost much more.
I still prefer the flat though. You don't want to bloat the pot with just second pair. You know, he has every 10x in his range as well. So
yep.
But it's an interesting line for sure. Picasso has played very interestingly on this table. Have you seen him on some of the other final tables so far?
Yeah, I'm just going to look here now. I think, let me pull up. We saw his Picasso's stuff. He is, 260,000 GG wins. He looks super familiar, but the actual doesn't have a ton of. He was in season 2023. He's 4 of 7 cashes this year. So I've seen him around, but doesn't have. He's got 2 final tables, and on GG about $250,000 in earnings. And there's a look at the payouts for today. What is still remaining? A lot of 6-figure scores available. And yeah, I have seen him before. I think a pretty tough player. But yeah, I mean, this is actually fairly balanced, right? Four-handed. This is about as balanced as the stacks can be. You got a little bit of a chip leader, but 2, 3, 4 all tight. So we could have some play here. Going to need some.
Nobody in immediate danger, and you have 2 players. I have 2 players, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out. I predict Picasso and Juan in the heads-up match.
You did. You made a big pick early, and I mean, honestly, pretty impressive, right? Juan is right there at 3 million, very, very healthy, four-handed. So you have got a good sweat, pretty even too, right? We each have 2 players, and we are gonna have a battle here for the dinner.
Very huge ICM considerations right now with even stacks. Wow, very interesting board. Open ender and top pair for Picasso, and 2 pairs for Jans. Definitely see a lot more chips going into the pot.
Yeah, this is this is going to be, this has definitely got the makings. I mean, two interesting board spots for the players who both are pretty all over it, right? Queen 7 and Queen 8. Queen 7 is going to have a tough decision for that price. I just don't see how. I mean, Queen 7 stuff misses, stuff does miss.
I like the block here on the 6 pairs.
Yep. Jans
wondering if he should raise or call.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, what, like, great players, they really find they decide on, based on sizings, they do find it. And this is just, you know, how many times is just call, hey, I could be beat by this or whatever, and he just decides, you know what, let me suss out some value here, let me go for it. And you know, Picasso, very tough decision now too.
Pretty big raise as well, 3.5x. Oh, sorry, yeah, 3.5. What would you do?
I mean, the fact that you have an 8 and a club, I think this does, you could maybe lean more towards folding if you really want to, you know, when in these close decisions, right? When you're in like a really tight spot. But you know, I just don't know. I don't know. I guess I'd probably fold, but It's so this would have been a good mini game one, right? Like with the hand down, because it's always harder when you
Oh,
get
he
able to see
calls
other cards.
off.
Does call, and Jan's gonna narrow the gap there. Actually, about tied now for the chip lead. We sort of have two different matches going. We got the chip leaders and then the second place. Although even Tony now in third decently by 700,000
A lot
versus
of
one.
credit there to Jans for finding that spot and finding that raise. A lot of players will not be able to do that with a straight on the board and the board pairing, and they know they don't have a lot of 6x in the range. Big line has more 6x, but Jan's, a lot of credit to him. Speaks to his experience that he found that raise.
Yeah, that was a very nice raise. And here, a very nice hand, kings to ace nine, four-handed ace nine on the button. This is starting getting into you know, ace nine off, maybe ace 10 off would find a little harder to get away. I mean, ace nine, I think you just hate it, right? But you're likely going to get out of the way. You could four bet this. Calling not really an option. So let's see. I think probably way towards folding, but it's just also like, you know, these guys are capable, right? We're seeing light raises, people are making moves, and ace nine is a strong hand four-handed.
Yeah, and look at that. For the first time on the final table, Picasso has lost his chip lead.
Yes, very balanced though now between first, second, third, and it is anyone's game, as we said. Never easy. It's never a cakewalk, and we will not have that as well here. We're gonna have a battle with the 4 players remaining.
You know, being around in the community for so long, I have so many friends, and there's a common theme of people asking about how to balance life with like traveling and playing poker and having a family and having, you know, live and online. And Jeff, you're doing so many more things. By the way, Matt, props to you. The stream is incredible. A lot of people like watching it. You guys do an amazing job with the production, with the commentary, everything. So just a question that comes up a lot is how do you balance everything, because especially a family with poker is super hard. So very curious.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the compliments. Yeah, no, I love it. It's amazing. I love working with the GG Millions. It's been a really cool job. It's also something that I stream, right? That I used to have to travel a lot, go out of the US. My wife's Brazilian, so that's cool. But now we have kids. It's like a little less conducive to take your laptop, run around the world, and take your kids and stream for 10 hours in a day. So, you know, it's been a great fit. I love doing the podcast as well. So that's kind of something I can do anywhere, which is one thing I love about with this. But yeah, I mean, it's all balance, right? It's hard. Like there's so many things I want to do content wise, even this year at the World Series. Like I wanted to do the YouTube vlogs and stuff, but it's just so draining. It's so much work, so tiring that I was just like, let me focus on poker while I'm here. I didn't bring the family to the World Series this time. I just wanted to play poker, dive in, and you know, I think it's just about balance. It's like it's never perfect, but you try to do your best. And I try to do more seasonal. Like, all right, hey, I'm gonna go for 2 weeks, play poker, and then I'm going to be with my family when I'm with my family, because it's not easy. I for sure, especially women. Like there are some women that have children and like playing poker. Like you're sort of, you know, it's really hard to at least you have to take some time off. Obviously, once you have a baby when you're a woman, for obvious reasons. But
Definitely, and the hours are not flattering at all. Especially if you're a tournament player, you can't just get up anytime you feel like. So yeah, you like when I'm at the World Series, there's nothing else that I'm able to do except just play at the World Series. So yeah, balancing regular life at poker is pretty hard. But like you've been around for 2 decades, you figured it out.
Right, and you know, it's always again work in progress. I mean, it's always something. It's just like it's fun though. Honestly, it's gotten more fun, and timing's everything, right? It's like I wish Twitch was around. I started in 2015. I wish it was around in like 2004 or 5 when I started playing, right? Or when I was in college. It would have been awesome to start doing that a decade earlier. So like I'm 36. You know, I kind of started doing Twitch like a little late, right? Like in theory. So it's just never perfect, but you got to dive in, start, and do your best. If that's something you enjoy and love, it's like, it's all part of it. It doesn't matter. You might stream for a little and stop. You might do a vlog a couple times and stop, but it's fun, right? If you love it, you should try it. And, if that's what you're interested in, I think it's just fun. Like, I know a lot of people have done it and they stop and they're still like, it was such a good experience. I learned editing. I learned about this. And, I think you could just take a lot away from this type of stuff anyway. And poker teaches you a lot, right? A lot about variance in life in a lot of ways, like whether you win or lose as a player. Obviously, if you're responsible with your bankroll and whatnot, I think you can really take a lot of positives out of poker, no matter what the end result of your play is. That's really how I feel.
It's very interesting you're saying that. There was recently a tweet by Phil Galfond saying the exact same thing. It doesn't matter if you won or lost in poker. There are so many hidden advantages about how you learn from the game and how much you pick up about yourself, about life experiences, about making friends and traveling. And those are all the things that you actually win, even if you're losing. So that's definitely true.
Yeah, no, it's for sure. It's a beautiful game. It is. It's so funny how it can work too. Like, sometimes you just run so well, sometimes you run so poorly. But again, it's about how you deal with the ups and downs. Try to stay neutral. It's easier said than done. I think everyone has some degree of tilt in poker, right? I mean, that's just how it works. Are you a tilter? Do you tilt a little bit or not really? Do you feel like you're pretty in control?
I don't tilt. No, not at all. I used to, of course, when I started out, but it's been so long playing poker. Like, tilting is not something. It's just something you just learn not to get out of your system permanently. I mean, obviously, I'm human. I get frustrated, but my frustration is off the table. It's never on the table.
Yep. Well, that's important. That's a big thing to do. And I'll tell you what, they're a tough fold. Flop top pair, ace turns, and Juan Pardo Dominguez puts the pressure on. Tony does get out of the way. Tony now on the short stack here, as all three players are very healthy other than Tony, and he gets top two this time, and gonna have a hard time losing this pot, as he does have a hammer lock on the hand versus his opponent, who has 10 high. Now a gut shot, checks back though. Interesting. Something you also see great players do. He's like, oh, I have 10-9 suited, right? You got to stab because you have nothing. But we do see delayed C bets. We do see multiple checks. We saw earlier the 3-7 offsuit from Jans Ahrens, who checked all the way down, then got king 3 suited to fold. So, it's not always a mandatory C bet. It's not always a certain bet size. So I think that's also another learning here. It's important to really check in and understand, like, you want to be in tune to the situation. All things are different here, as now Tony is thinking if he should check raise or just call. He does check raise. It's a quick fold there for Jans. And all right, Nikita, your time to shine. We're coming in the big blind. 10-3 off in the big blind.
I like how it's these really random hands. Like, it was 10 deuce earlier and now 10-3. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. And you could have seen a raise pre-flop, right? So you see this with the absolute bottom of range to raise a limp, but does not go for that there. So 10-3 checks back again. And let's see on the turn what happens here. Maybe.
I mean, it's a fine check back because with the ace on the board, it favors the limping range more than the big blind range, because big blind would usually ISO a lot of ace X. So the check back.
Maybe a raise here. Would you think, with the see if your opponent has an ace?
Spicy, yes.
There you go. Goes for it. I mean,
I like
he's got the gut shot. He checked back. Maybe the question is, would he bet the gut shot on the flop? That's the question. Does he bet that, or maybe not, just because his opponent's weighted towards ace here and does call? And all right, now the fun part, Nikita. What are you doing? You make the semi bluff. You don't come through. You got basically one of the worst hands you can have. What do you like here?
Oh man. Yeah, you backed yourself in a corner over here. You have to bluff at it. What's the size you choose? I feel like you don't have to go super polarized. Yeah, about 60% is what I was going to say.
And now, okay, I thought that was a fold, but no, we just get to see what Jans gets to work with here. Queen 8. So he is in the tank And I mean, the
Oh, I
crazy.
think, yeah, sorry. See?
Oh, tell me what you. Yeah, talk me through it.
I mean, I like his size because it's more like a value bet bluff. You're not saying you have the ultimate nuts. Wait, did he fold?
He folded Queen 8. Yeah, I mean, got it.
Yeah, because of the raise on the flop. Yeah, he told his story well. It's more, it's more like a pay me bet. Like I'm trying to get paid. It's not like I'm trying to bluff you out of the pot. So it's a good size by one. But yeah, very, very interesting fold by Jans because 9x is never in his range. I mean, Queen is anyway not raising 9x, so he's. This is why blind versus blind is such an interesting part of the game. The ranges are so wide, you never know what your opponent has, especially in a limp pot.
Yes, very true. It is. It is the maybe the most interesting spot in a area that if you want to work at and look into, that is a area of the game tree that's very interesting to work on because it happens a lot and there's so many different situations you can look at and play with. So that would be, you know, one area to improve if you're looking to work on your game. That's a popular area to improve. A lot of confrontations blind on blind, you notice, that happen very frequently in poker.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah.
shot.
Can I step away for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Be right back.
All right, everyone. We're four-handed playing for a winner today. Nikita gonna run away for a second. She'll be back and we will call a winner and we will have the giveaways. My Jeff Gross Poker pinned Twitter $50 giveaway. That is on my X, I should call it, right? Is that what they call it now? X. That was a update. We have the hands up promo, which is still live. The jackpot progressive every week. There is a pinned YouTube link frequently that is there, and I think it's off right now, but it stops at heads up. You guys still have time to guess if you have clicked on that link. And then, of course, $50 or $100 giveaway, which we just entered in keyword GGPoker space Nikita space your GGPoker username will be $50 or $100. My players that I drafted are for 100. Nikita's are for 50. And good luck with that as Queen 10 suited going to step up. And Tony doesn't think long. He just rips it in. Rip it in. Nice hands. And Tony tilt. He keeps saying tilt when he wins hands. I don't know. It's a little reverse there. Queen 7, deuce 10, two pair now. Heart as well. So pretty big lock on the hand. Queen 7, no draw. Not going to be interested. Picks it up. Aces. No action. That's frustrating, but it could be worse. Chip leader. Juan Pardo officially your chip leader. That is for 50 for GG for the giveaway. If he were to win, it'd be 100 if Jans or Picasso win. 50 also for Tony. Got a dinner sweat myself. And ace 9. Gonna pick it up. Well, four-handed. Hope you're enjoying. Let us know where you're watching from. I hope you guys have loved this final table. I'll tell you, it's been fun, been special. We've seen some light opens, some light calls, big bluffs, big folds. So I don't know what else you really want. I mean, you're watching the biggest tournament online in the world, streamed up. It is all you can really ask for. So we are going to see a lot of emojis, a lot of emotion. Queen 7 come in for an open. Ace 3 in the big blind. We saw earlier a raise, right? We saw a big raise where we got a similar spot where Juan opened us up with an ace 4 off 3-bet. And this time we see just a call and a little different line where we're going to see a check raise with ace 3 here. A little bit sporadic, a little bit chaotic. And Juan with top pair certainly not going to just relinquish yet. Does call, gets a nice card, picks up additional equity. Ace 3 just speeding, no governor, no semi-bluff anymore. He's got no turn equity. And let's see if he shuts down or continues to tell a story, and he does slow it down. And check over it. Now, interesting spot if you're Juan. You can bet or check. Decides he's got a little too much hand, doesn't want to bet, get blown off. He does check, and now the river, Tony is going to look like he give up. And I don't see a ton of value for Juan to go ahead and bet here. I mean, he does have top pair. It's a weak top pair. And, 5-7 miss, 5-3 miss. Variety of other hands that are bluffs miss. I just don't see a lot of world where you get called. And let's see what he does. But we did see Jan Aaron's go for a thin value bet, and this is thin. Nice bet. Does just decide I got the best hand too often. Ace, queen, queen 7 suited. And again, no one really that short. We got the 80K big blind. So even the 1.8 has over 20 big blinds. Queen 7 suited, stepping out of line here. Little battle going on here. Let's see what ace queen comes up with. This is actually very tough. I guess 4-bet is better than flat, but see where you're at. You think is a better play, but they're deep. Good flat, does flat. That one I'd like to look at. Not sure on that. My instinct would say 4-bet, but let's go to the streets. Queen 7 in trouble now. Can he shed one? As ace queen not loving the board either. Is ahead of a lot of bluffs. Probably too good to fold right away, but I mean, again, sort of dicey. 6 comes in, queen 7 suited, no equity other than the 7. He doesn't get, I mean, to be fair, there wasn't really any turns other than a queen or 7 that was going to bring him life, and he is going to decide this to barrel off here or not. And the fact that he doesn't have a spade, it's not a bad hand to do it, right? You could put pressure on like the Broadway or ace-x spades, and then depending, go for it on the river, but does check back. And now, interesting decision for Juan, who may not be sure if he has the best hand. Kind of in the middle, right? You lose the pairs, you beat ace-jack, you beat some random bluffs like the queen 7. Maybe blocker bet. 400 something, put something out there. Check also makes sense, but tough spot if you get big bet on here. Let's see. Showdown, give up, ace queen winner, chip leader, 5 million plus. And Nikita, maybe she's making dinner reservations. Maybe she's finding some Michelin stars to punish here because she picked a big gap on the chip lead, and her guy is chip leader four-handed. Wow. Nikita, I hope you weren't picking out dinner reses on me. I hope you weren't premature celebrating. I hope that's not what was happening.
That's a nice situation to come back to.
Yeah, I mean, you're in good shape, but it's pretty even chip wise, and we got 2 and 2. So, oh no, look at this, Nikita. This is big favorite, ace king, ace jack, and we could be 3-handed. Pair the board for a sweat. Nope, 9 would not chop. Actually, a 9 is good for ace jack. So a 9, a jack, or we will be 3-handed. And it is not that. It is GG. Golfer claps around. All 3 good game. Good sportsmanship shown. Podium time, top 3. Great players. Should have a treat here. And wow, are you really going to? I just thought, I was like thinking in my face, I feel bad for you. It's a fishy bet to give up the chip leader. And now you're just looking sort of like a genius here, as you are in the lead. You are looking a bit genius here.
I'm very thrilled right now. I'm all very unexpected, especially since he lost that very big split early on, and coming back from there to an overwhelming chip lead 3-way. I like it.
We saw some light opens, right? Queen jack off, queen 8 suited early on. He made the ace 4 off out of the big blind, huge 3-bet, just to very first hand to play it from our perspective on the day. And I think really shown like a master class on play, right? Willing to play, willing to battle, willing to bluff, willing to mix it up, and really playing well today.
Yeah, he played absolutely fearless.
Here we go. 10-6, King 8. King 8 does have a pair, a diamond relevant card, and Picasso is got a double gutter, 7 or jack for a straight. 10 would also put a check mark on his name. And let's see now. Does he want to keep barreling? Probably, right? You got 10-6 high. Ace is a bit of a scare card. So yeah, I like the barrel here. And Jan's tough spot. Gives it up. Good bet. Nice play by Picasso. And there is a real hand, Ace King versus 8-7. And hello, quite a flop.
Wow. Jan's with the ace of hearts. Might continue at least one streak.
Bet small or check? I mean, does he ever check back? I guess you got to bet something, right? You should want to bet small.
Like a slightly bigger bet. Oh, okay, small.
Yeah, it's actually got a little meat on it. And Ace King, I mean, not a great board. Oh, what a card this is.
Straight flush draw now for Juan to complement the straight, and Jans is gonna definitely stick around.
Yeah, this is definitely problematic. I mean, it kills the action a little bit of Juan, but I mean, he's got a chance to lose the pot somehow too now.
Jans is getting a very good price for this ace of hearts, but obviously he doesn't love his life with that run out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess is he thinking about raising? It's a viable option, but I guess it's just too much equity too. It's like your hand's strong and you want to make sure you get to a river there, but this is not good. He is that's a tough spot to be. Ace King, you don't get there. You basically know you're not beating anything, right? I mean, there's really not hands that you're beating here on this board in this action. So this is just a matter of will Juan Pardo Dominguez put more chips in or be content with the pot. He does have a very strong hand and he does go for a bet.
Jan's tanking here, thinking of doing some wizardry check raise all in with his ace of hearts.
Desperate times, call for a short. He could, just thinking, does he really get a 7 to fold? I mean,
that'll be too badass.
Yeah, that would be, I don't know. I don't think I got that in me right now. I don't think I got that call. That's a big moment. That would be quite a play. And just like, it looks so like, how could he ever fold, right? That would just be like some next level bluffing, but he does fold. I think that's gotta be the case. All right, blinds are up. And the running hot has been displayed, and he's got aces. That is running hot. He does take down the pot, and there is now a gap. Juan Pardo is double second, and Jans is very short. I'm going to get that giveaway queued up, because if we get the heads up, I'm going to queue it, guys. Again, hit the thumbs up if you enjoying the show. GGPoker space Nikita space GGPoker username, and you will be eligible for a $50 or $100 giveaway, although it is leaning towards 50 at the moment, as Juan is on Nikita's team and he has got the chip lead, but Picasso not over yet. Did a good job, held the chip lead the majority of the final table. Now has relinquished that, but is still healthy, and it's going to be a battle And not over even for heads up, right? Jan's Aaron's could double up, be active. He's a little short. And nines, maybe a limp. Is this the stack size to limp? Or is it just too short where you hope your opponent calls wide? This is a debate. This is a close spot. Do you get high? I think the play is limp. Like, I think you just allow your opponent to make a loose shove. You also, if they have a hand like whatever, right? You like set, you know, a 7-8, they hit an 8. So nice execution. Let's see how it plays out. And there's a set. Got to avoid the straight card. Only 10 or else will be a double up, and a nice play from Jans Arons there, showing us the class, the discipline, the understanding of what's happening. Well done. And he is back in it. So a little Mr. Nikita, I see you get a little nervous. Don't worry. You still got the chip lead. You still got it. I don't want to see you, you know. Don't get too nervous. This isn't over yet.
No, I like my chances.
Ace-7 kings. Nice spot for you here again. Although Ace-7, not going to love the board. I don't see doing much here. It is ace high. It is blind on blind. Range is wide. Ace-7, definitely not a automatic fold, but if you are Juan, you love this flop. Queen 8-5 rainbow. Could even, I like it, go big, right? Queen or an 8, going to be hard to get your opponent not going to fold, so why not put a little meat on it?
Yeah, blind versus blind, probably very inelastic with one pair, so good size there. Jeff, I feel like I might have to start booking APT Korea just so I can come away with my dinner.
Uh-oh. Is that going to be, are you really are counting early? I like it. I like it. I like it.
A little bit of trash talk here.
It's all right. I like it. No, it's all good. Hold on. Joseph, I'm still on my show.
Oh. King 0 for Picasso, who 3 bets and gonna get a quick fold from Jan. Oh, sorry, Juan.
Yes. Yes, please.
Juan raising any 2 at this point, using his stack. Interesting for Picasso, he's gonna call both flop of pair, which is pretty big, line versus line. Definitely gonna see more chips go into the pot. One should slow down here. He should bet more polarized on the turn. He has a lot of showdown. And Picasso deciding what size he should bet if he does, or whether he should just check back and pot control given ICM considerations versus the chip leader. But he goes for the bet. He's very strong, and Juan doesn't even think about it. He just folds.
Yeah. Really, man, this is high level, right? These 3 players are playing great. This is, no one's giving anything away. Gonna get to see how they maneuver. We saw Jans make a creative limp there. I mean, pretty standard, but not everyone's gonna find that play, and he does, and got the double and held. So still in the game, but very much so an underdog in the moment. It's gonna have to get some good situations. There he goes, limps again, has a balance range. This time Juan probably does check, interesting enough, maybe a little gun shy about the limp before, but ultimately a little deception too. And now he is going to get this good scenario, right, where you flop top pair and your opponent is going to be weighted more towards the ace, and he would think Juan's probably going to raise. So this could work out well for Juan, where his Jans may start shelling a bit, although the 9 pairs, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see if Jans continues to bet. He has really no semi-bluff potential here, right? He's dead against a 9 or an ace, so he does just check. Be interesting to see what Juan does check back.
Oh, wow. Snap. By Juan.
All right, three-handed still. And Juan in the lead, in control. Queen 3 going to come in raising Picasso. That won't work here. A7 suited, too strong a hand. Likely just call. There it is. And what a flop. Interesting board. Very interesting.
No, I don't think the bet. I mean, of course, these are high-level players. They know what they're doing, but I wouldn't bet this board.
Wow. Well, when you're going to get the dreamiest of dreamy situations, why the pain? The pain is real. This is quite a card. This is literally like a dream scenario here for Juan, and he does go big. I mean, just understands where he's at. Wow.
He wants to get paid from the two pairs, from the ace-x. He also wants to say, hey, I'm the chip leader, and I'm going to apply a lot of pressure with my bluffs and my value.
And gets called. Spades come. Could it slow things down? Possible. Possible, but still, I mean, I guess just versus the ace-x, you just have to go. You have to bet something. I mean, I guess you realize like your opponent could have backdoored in the flush as it was possible, but no, you're going for a bet. All of it. This the full caboose here.
Picasso has a decision here because he knows Juan will do this with a lot of air as well. Given that Jan's is short and he will apply a lot of pressure since he's second in chips. Although three-way, I don't think ICM plays such a big role, but
yeah, I mean, this is. I just don't see him bluffing though in this spot. I guess Jan's right. You could level yourself that he's just bluffing because like he's in great spot. I mean, that's the function of it, right? He's like they're saying to Picasso, hey, you can't really call here anything, and I think that's the tricky part for Picasso. That's what he's got to think about. Like, wow, like does he just have 6x in bluffing? Does he have the bluffs though? What bluff? 6-7, 6-7, 6x. That just decided to go crazy. But even now, you do lose the spades. If that's the 10 of hearts, 10 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, things are they are different. And he does still call. And what, I mean, wow. This is a masterclass. Wow. All right, we're heads up, and this could be even over soon. We're talking about 8 big blinds. I got to pick a winner for the youth. I wasn't expecting that fast, so I gotta find a winner. Good luck. This could be literally in a second. And we are gonna give away a 50 or 100. It looks like a $50 GG poker ticket, but let's see. I'm gonna pick the winner here in a second. You know what, Nikita? I'm just gonna make it $100 either way. Let's do 100 to the winner today. I feel like I'm just doing it. We got to do it. This is, I'm in trouble for the dinner. I feel this is asking a lot for a comeback. But let's see if we get a little sweat or if it's just gonna end.
When we were looking at some of the stats earlier, before the final table started, Jans and Juan were the two players with the maximum number of results and winnings. Jans, as you can see, has $10 million, and Juan has 15. I don't know.
Yeah.
15. And they are the two most accomplished, experienced players on the table, going heads up. Oh, it could be over, Jeff.
I'm putting the winner. $100 winner is in the chat. Congrats to Soren. We are sweating here. Ace on the turn. 100% I won't be right now, but I'm going to give the $100 to Soren Prutnu there. Congrats. I just wrote it in there. You won $100. You will get a GG tournament ticket in your cash here. So congrats to you. Thank you to everyone who participated. And it's not over yet, though. Let's see if what's going to happen here. Juan Pardo Dominguez has a massive lead, 11-1 at the moment. So it is anyone's game, but in the moment it is looking good for Juan. 3-6 off. I'm going to pick that up. And we are still playing for a lot of money there between first and second. You can see the payouts on the lower left of your screen. 262 to first. All right, well, there it is. Jack 3 is behind and has a 3 now. It is in the lead to take it down. We got the river only, or we will have a Juan Pardo Dominguez victory party here. The river, it is a 5, and that is it. GG's all around. Your champion, GG Millions, episode 20, season 23 is that man, Juan Pardo Dominguez. And Nikita, you have officially put in the Hall of Fame for draft picks because you took a 4 million stack and a 1 million and just took this guy, Juan, to get it done. So I am baffled. You get dessert, wine, everything. We can bring a friend even. You can bring +1. That is a well-picked execution by you. Congrats on that. And I hope you make it to Korea if you do come for the APT, because I will be there, and you can cash in on your dinner and meet my wife and kids. But if not, we'll do it another time. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. Really was great. You had great analysis, spot on. Obviously, you just got top 100 in the World Series of Poker main event. And where can people follow you on socials?
I'm under my full name, Nikita Luther, on Instagram and Twitter both. And I've tried to become more active, try to push the cause a bit more, that women can play poker, and it'll be really fun if I see more people come out, especially from India, more women, and I look forward for... thank you for having me here, firstly. It was such a pleasure, and it's always been a pleasure to watch your streams, like I said earlier. Great fun.
Well, we may have lost Nikita in the last second. That's variance, technology, life. She wins the dinner, and we might have lost her. She froze or I froze, but I hope you can hear me. And I really, again, I'm just going to thank Nikita. I think we may have lost the connection with her, but what a absolute gem. What a great analysis and great player and a great ambassador for our game of poker. So unfortunately, we're going to have to leave you on that, but thank you at home for watching. Very special guest next week on Tuesday, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Nikita. You guys can go and tell her on her socials how much you enjoyed the stream, as unfortunately I think we did lose connection with her at the very last second, guys. But thank you so much. We'll see you next week on the GG Millions. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the show next week.